Ashley Chin, also known as Muslim Belal, is an English actor, screenwriter, spoken word performance poet, and former rapper of Jamaican descent. Reverted to being a young Muslim of Islam and coming from the ghetto upbringing of the streets of London, Belal has dazzled and shared his journey with thousands across the world with his stories. Belal spends his spare time helping the youth by giving...
Let's get into that.
You stopped me at the final sentence.
I don't like the big intro, it's like Belal, I ain't really done much. Forgive me.
Yeah. Helping the youth by giving inspiring talks and doing interactive workshops.
Allahu Akbar. Do you know how cold it is that? Please. I don't know what my brother was feeling, but I'm feeling something different. Whoa, that's some serious cold you're bringing in it. Alhamdulillah, all praises for Allah. We seek His help, we seek His forgiveness. Seek refuge with Allah from the evil of our own souls and from our bad deeds. Wherever Allah guides, nobody can misguide. Wherever Allah misguides, nobody can guide. I bear witness there is no deity worthy of my worship except Allah, who is one, who has no partners, no daughters, no sons. I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his slave and messenger. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A bit lower, is it too loud? We're good like this?
Yeah.
Okay, alhamdulillah, before we get into it, I'm going to tell you where I'm from, let me see where, and my journey, let me see where you guys are from, not really much about your journey, but anyone here, I like to know the audience, and we know there's a couple of non-Muslims, welcome, peace be upon you. Is there anyone here from, what kind of nationalities we have here? Anyone from Malaysia? We're speaking about Malaysia. Anyone from Malaysia? Oh, mashallah. I was in Malaysia on the weekend. Beautiful city. Anyone here from Indonesia, like the neighboring cities? Yeah, mashallah. Anyone here from Pakistan? Okay, I see the mix we have up here. Bengalis, Bangladesh. Okay, North Africans, Moroccans, a couple Moroccans, Egyptians, Tunisians, Algerians, Nigerians, Gambia. Okay, where have I missed out? Scotland, eh? Scotland. Any Jamaicans, Caribbeans? No? Cool, didn't think so. What about Eritreans, Somalian? Couple. Get them everywhere. No, alhamdulillah, it's a pleasure to be here, and alhamdulillah, it's nice for me because I've been doing a few of them, like the brother was in Dublin yesterday and Lancaster and Malaysia, and it was just myself speaking about my journey, so it's nice to be able to hear some fellow reverts tell their story. It's nice for me. I do come from Jamaica in the Caribbean, the ghetto, as he is explaining, but I don't like to classify too much as the ghetto. But yeah, I had this upbringing. I come from Jamaica, the Caribbean, but I was actually born in London, South London, area called Brixton, Gypsy Hill, and it was a bit rough. And I grew up with no Islam, in a nutshell, no Islam, but I did have a bit of religion, a bit of belief in God. So I always believed in God growing up. And I think role models or enthusiasm, that's gone. Yeah, battery's gone. Yeah, so, being in this kind of environment, growing up, and situation, I think most poor people have this belief in God. So my mum used to send me to church, but I don't think it was like such a religious thing. It's just because we come from England, church is there, and it was free youth club. So you could go to church and play table tennis and stuff. And we was broke, so it was easy. So I used to go to Pathfinders on a Wednesday, Crusaders on a Tuesday, and Bible studies on a Friday, and Sunday school on a Sunday. And in the summer holidays, used to go away with the church to Cornwall, and in the Easter, we used to go away with the church as well. So that was my playtime, because it's free, it's like £2, £3, £10 holidays. And that was easy for my mum, because we was broke. Now, regardless of our faith, our religion in here or around the world, or our ethnicity, one thing we all have in common is what we want from this life is happiness. We all just want to be happy, really. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to be happy. But we search for happiness in all the wrong places. We don't actually know what will make us happy. So I was looking for happiness in the wrong places. As a youngster, how old are you? How old is your daughter? How old are you? 9? 10?
8, I'm 46.
8? So you're 8 years old. As an 8-year-old, what makes you happy is just a new toy. Or if you go in the shop with your mum and you say, can I get a Kinder Surprise or a sweetie, and your mum says yes, you're happy. That's enough. Like if my mum said yes, can I get Monster Munch? And just I'll eat the Monster Munch very slow, one pour at a time, dance around like I got some Monster Munch. And this was enough to make me happy. But as you get older, that happiness changes. When you're like 11, 12, 13, it's no longer the Monster Munch, you want something else. I wanted like Nike trainers or Adidas. And then when you get older than that, no longer that matters, you want like a motorbike or a car. And then you get older than that and you want freedom to stay out later. And then you get older than that and you want to move out. And then it just changes, you're always chasing this happiness. And then as soon as you get that thing, it no longer matters, and then you're searching for the next thing. So we spend our whole life trying to find this happiness, but we don't know where it exists. So in my childhood, growing up, what I thought would make me happy was like those nice clothes and trainers, but my mum couldn't afford anything. So I had an unhappy childhood. And my mum, it reminded me when the sister was talking, my mum was unhappy because she used to drink all the time to run away from her problems, because that's what we do. It's like we want to escape reality, and drinking intoxicates you and takes you away from your reality. So my mum was constantly drunk. So I was very unhappy. And if I said to my mum, could I have Nike trainers, please, please? Because when you get to like 11, 12 years old, the reason why you want these things is because you start to have the ego, you start to care what other people think, you get this pride. Like now, when I was 8 years old, it didn't matter what name my trainers was. I cared if they had like a red line or a blue button at the bottom, and I used to pretend that if I press the button, it makes me jump higher or run faster. They could have been called Speed X, it doesn't matter. But when I was 12 or 13, I couldn't go outside in Speedex, because now I like Sarah that lives at number 4, and Sarah likes Dwayne and he's got Nike, so I want to be out in Nike, but everyone's going to laugh at me. We start to care. It's all about appearance and image. So I'm saying, Mum, can I get a pair of Nike trainers? Please, Mum, I want Nike. My mum can't even afford to buy me dinner. So my mum's saying, no, what, you're going to eat the Nike trainers for dinner? You better keep the Speedex. So I'm like, no way. So, but then one day my mum feels bad and she buys me a pair of trainers from the market that looked like Nike. Well, she thought they did, but they were Aribas. They looked like Adidas. But they had 4 stripes instead of 3. And she bought me the whole tracksuit and the trainers thinking she'd done something good. Like, look, open this. So I'm like, Mum, man. It's a whole Aribas tracksuit and Aribas trainers. So I'm going out to play with my friends because I can't just say I'm not wearing that. Because my mum just spent a good hard-earned money on it. So I've got to go out in my Aribas suit. And my friends are laughing at me like, bro, oh my gosh, I've heard of Adidas, but not Aribas, bro. What's that? And then you feel angry and upset, like, why are we broke? I'm not happy. And I'm searching for that happiness. Why am I wearing Aribas and not Nike? Why is my life like this? I want to be happy. And my mum sends me to the shop. And when my mum sends me to the shop, she doesn't even give me money. She writes a note. And I have to give this note to the shopkeeper that says, can you give my son these things and I'll pay you back on the 18th of the month when I get paid. I remember that date, the 18th of the month. That's when my mum gets paid. I give him the note. This Indian man is looking at me and he's like, throws the note down. Tell your mum next time I won't do this. Last time. I'm angry. I just want to throw the things back down, but I can't because we need this. So I go home. And this is how that young boy develops the anger inside him. The anger at the world. Why are we so broke? Why don't we have these things that I see there's people in the world that exist have things? So I'm upset and I'm sad. Now, where am I going to get inspiration from? Like, we need role models in this world, yeah? We need role models. We need like people to look up to, people to inspire us. I wasn't raised with no Islam, so I didn't get no inspiration from like no dad in my house that can say to me, you know, there's a story of the Sahaba, you know, or Abu Hurairah used to tie this rock to his stomach when he was hungry. Like, we're going through these things so we can relate to them. I didn't have no parents telling me these Islamic stories. I didn't know about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or times when him and Aisha would be sharing a date because they didn't have no money for food, where I can feel like we're close to them or similar to them. I didn't know nothing about Islam or none of these Sahabas or none of these prophets. Where was I going to get my role models or my inspiration from? I used to go in my room. When my mum's drunk, she's upstairs, it doesn't matter. I just lock myself in my room and it's the only time I can find happiness. As a young boy in this kind of environment, I turn on the TV and I watch things like MTV. I watch like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. This is when I'm like in happiness, you know, and it's like rap music, you know, in West Philadelphia, born and rap along. I feel happy now. Or then I put it on the rap channels, MTV. And this is when I go into the illusion. I'm in my own world now. This is where I'm getting my inspiration from, because this rapper, it's like he's taking me away from all the sadness and all the pain. I can see him and I can see his world, and he looks like he's got the same skin complexion as me. I want to be like him. I want to open my shirt like he's got on this Hawaiian shirt and a white vest. I've got on some white string vest and a dead shirt, but I'm feeling like him. He's got on a Hawaiian shirt, and he's got on like a gold Cuban link chain, and he's got on a Cuban cigar in his mouth, and he's got the sunglasses with the Versace heads at the side, and he's on a yacht. He's on a yacht, and he looks like Miami. And he's got these girls walking around in bikinis, and he's like looking at them, and then he's rapping like, I'm big pimpin', spending G's, it's just a jiggle man. And I'm thinking, yo, I need to be big pimpin', spending G's. This is the life I want to live. This is where I get my inspiration from. So this is the direction I start going in life. This is the direction. I'm watching other videos, and he's in Saint-Tropez or Monaco, and his friends driving a Ferrari, and he's in like a Lambo, and again they got the top down, and he's got girls on the back and sitting in bikinis again, and he's like, we're in Ferraris and Jaguars switching 4 lanes, top down, screaming out, money ain't a thing, hey, and the girls are looking at each other sitting on the back going, hey, hey, and I'm thinking, oh my days, I'm wearing Aribas, and I need this. This is what I want. This is the life. If I had this, I would be so happy. Because we search for happiness in all the wrong places. We think we know what will make us happy. I say, if I had this, I would be so happy. Now, where was I going to get my inspiration from? My mum's telling me go to school and get education. I'm looking at my mum and I can't take no motivation from her. Your role models are usually people you look at and want to be like. I'm thinking, Mum, you're just drunk, you can't even afford to buy me Nike. I don't want to be like you, so I'm not listening. I go to school and my teachers are telling me, get an education, do this, do that. I'm looking at my teacher and I'm thinking, Mr. Goodright, you're wearing these ankle swingers, and them days ankle swingers wasn't sunnah to me, it wasn't fashionable. So I'm like, ankle swingers, you got a Ford Escort car, I don't want to be like you. So I'm not listening to these people. And I didn't have no one on my estate that could drive around in a Mercs and I could say, yo, John, where did you get this nice Mercedes from? And he said, well, young man, I'm an accountant or I'm a lawyer. John didn't even want to drive through my estate. So the only people I used to see was the criminals. They were the only people who looked like they was living this life that was similar to the guys on the TV. So I ended up following that route. The criminals looked so cool. That looked like a way in. And even the rappers were rapping about they used to hustle and stuff. So when I'm watching this criminal, I remember I'd be out on the estate in my Aribas playing football with my friends, and we'd hear the motorbike coming from around the corner. And we'd all run to the edge of the block. Because we know this guy, he's got the big chain on, he's got 2 gold teeth, he's on his big R1 motorbike, he's one of the biggest criminals. He makes money. And when we see him, he's like, woo, woo, woo. When he sees the kids, he gets excited, and we get excited. So we're like, hey, do a wheelie. And he's like, woo, does a big wheelie, and we're like, oh, sick, he's sick. And then I say to my friends, yeah, that's my cousin. Do you know he's my cousin? And he's not even my cousin. But you want to own him. You want to have some sort of, because he's so cool. These are my role models. I want to be just like him, and that's exactly what I done. So I started getting involved in crime from the age of 14. And I'm watching £20 turn into £60, and £60 turn into £120, and 120 turns into £500, and I'm watching it grow slowly. I'm on the streets and I'm making it every day, and my mum can't tell me to stop, my teachers can't tell me to stop. I need this money, and unless you give me an alternative, this is what I'm going to do. I believe in God, but I don't have no know-how about Islam. If you ask me when I was in school, in my class, if my teacher stopped me because I was the rude one in class and said, Ashley, stop distracting people, because I was probably distracting people, and she said, what do you know about Islam? I'd have said, what, miss? Like, that's a city in Pakistan, isn't it? Like, I was ignorant. I didn't know about this religion. So I'm making money. And then I have another opportunity to make even more. Because they say they're making a film in my area. They're making a film. They come to my area, Brixton, South London. They're going to shoot a film. This is in the 90s. There was no YouTube then and stuff. Like Pop, so this was big. I could be on TV. We didn't have people like us on TV. So I'm saying, yeah, my mum wants me to be involved. What do I have to do? They say, come to the White City BBC in central London and have an audition. I get there, it's like X Factor. Thousands of kids. Numbers pinned on us. I'm getting nervous, like a fish out of water. I'm saying, no, Mum, I want to go home. But she says, no, let's go. This is your opportunity, it's your chance, we can make some money. I go in there and they tell us, look, we've got to read these lines and blah, blah, blah. But long story short, when I read the lines, she looked at me and she said, wow, it's so authentic, it's so original. he's so good. And she said to my mum, we want him back tomorrow. Has he done any film work before? My mum's like, no, never. In school, he done a nativity play. And they're like, well, he's really good. So they keep calling me back. And from thousands of kids, I remember we got down to the last 16 and I'm still there. So my mum's like, please pray to God, pray to God. This is what we do as poor people. So we remember God. Come, please God, help me get this. And then we got the phone call. And I'm looking at my mum and I'm saying, Mum, is it them? She's like, hello, yeah. I'm with him now, yeah. I'm saying, Mum, what they saying? She's like, he'd love to. That's amazing. I'm saying, Mum, yes, I got the part. I'm going to be in a film. I said, how much is the money? What's the money? What's the money like? And my mum's like, he wants to know how much money? That's what I was interested in, really. From then, I wasn't even on the fame. It was the money. And she said, it's about like 650 to 700 pounds a week in the 90s. I'm 15 years old. I'm 15, this is 1998, I'm 34 now. So 98, I'm 15, I'm gonna get 700 pounds a week. I said, yo, I'm gonna buy so much Nike. That's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna be going in. Listen, so I'm like, yeah, when do I start? How long? And this wage is gonna go on for like 3 months. I'm thinking, yo, when do I start? She said, look, you start on this day, you gotta be there at this time. I said, yeah, okay. I know where that is, I'll be there early, don't worry, I can catch the number 2 bus all the way there, I know my way. They said, no, we're gonna send a chauffeur for you, you got your own driver now. I said, what, I got my own car, driver, chauffeur, ooh, this is sick. Excited, look at what Allah is allowing me to experience at a young age now. So the first day starts, my car's outside, it's about 6:40 in the morning. I say to my mum, I'm going, Mum, I'm gone. I put loads of cocoa butter on my face, I go outside, and I see the car. It's an S-Class Mercedes, black. On my estate, this is a rough estate. So I'm looking at him like, whoa. And the man gets out, he's in a suit. He opens the door for me in his suit. He opens the door, he's like, hello, Mr. Chin, come on. And I'm thinking, hi, thanks, mate. I go to the back, I'm getting ready to get in the car, but I'm just like, waiting for a second. And he's like, is everything okay? I was like, yeah. I'm just thinking, someone's got to see me getting in this car. There's no way I'm just getting in the car without no one seeing me getting in the car. Because that's what it's all about. I never had Snapchat or Instagram then, so it wasn't those days. Because this is what we want. We want people to see our success, to make it worth it. Because we think this is what will make us happy, the praise of people, the love of people and the attention from people. So look at what I was allowed to experience at such a young age. But you know what? With all these things, I never found no happiness. I never found no happiness. And by 17, 18, I had everything. I even started with the money from the films and everything I was doing, and from the road and the streets. I built my own studio. I started buying loads of nice clothes. I bought my first Mercedes at 17, 18 years old. I bought my first Rolex. I still wasn't happy. Like I said at the beginning, you put yourself a goal and a want, and when you achieve that goal and a want, it no longer matters, and now you want something else. You're forever chasing this happiness that don't exist. So where does this happiness lie? I'm confused. I don't know where to find it. Happiness is in Iman. I know this now, but I didn't know this then. I didn't know about this religion. So imagine in the studio that I started. And I started the studio with one of my close friends who was the younger brother to the guy who used to ride the motorbike and do the wheelies. It's his younger brother. I'm in the studio one day. And now I'm at that stage where I'm very unhappy. I'm hearing that my friend got killed the other day, got shot. Our manager of our studio, she died. So much things are going through my mind. I'm not content. I have everything I wanted and I'm not happy. And this day, my friend said to me, do you know my older brother's downstairs? I said, is he downstairs? I hadn't seen him since I was about 13. Them days when he used to come around his motorbike, I hadn't seen him. So I was excited. I couldn't wait to see him. He said, yeah, he's downstairs talking to mum. He's been traveling, he was in Turkey. I was like, rah, I can't wait to see him. I ain't seen him since I was a kid. Right now, I drive a motorbike. I want him to look at me and be like, rah, whose bike's that? I was like, yours, yeah? Like, yeah, you know, I'm doing my thing now. That's how I was looking forward to that. But he comes upstairs, he knocks on the door and he says, guys, can you turn on the music for 5 minutes, please? And he shuts the door. And I'm thinking, rah, he's changed. And he does that again, knocks on the door, can you turn on the music, please? 5 minutes. I didn't know what it was, but now I know he was a Muslim. He was actually praying every time he said that. And he didn't want to hear the coming from upstairs. So he used to go downstairs and pray until I turned on the music. And then he came into the room one day. And I remember all of us, we're in the studio, picture the environment. We're in the studio, young boys, 17, 18 years old, smoking these intoxicants, there's a guy over there, he's making beats, like, so the beats are playing. This is how it was. A couple guys over there playing FIFA, someone's writing some rap lyrics. This was our base. There's about 15 of us in there every day. And he comes in and he puts it on one of us thick. He's asking questions like, so you guys, let me ask you something. And he's asking one guy in particular, what's the purpose of your life? Tell me, what are you living for? And I remember this conversation because what I was going through, I needed this. I started to feel even amongst my friends, you know they say, have you ever felt all alone in a crowd full of people? Even when I was in the studio, when I was with my friends, I started feeling all alone and an emptiness. Because I felt like I had everything, but I didn't have happiness. So I remember when he said this, what's your purpose of life? I was listening, I wanted to hear this. I was like, yeah, this is the kind of conversations I need right now. I need this. So I was listening. And the whole room was listening. It's like the music went quiet, everything went quiet, and the guy's there like, what's my purpose of life? He's like, yeah. And he couldn't answer. He's like, and he's realized there's a pressure on him. He's like, I know, you like my purpose. He couldn't answer. And I'm thinking, bro, what would I say if he asked me, what is the purpose? We used to think before you were born, it's just blank, and after you die, it's be blank. He says, no, you come from a God, a creator. After you die, you're going to return to that God, that creator. And we believed in God. We knew, so I believed this. Yeah, we come from a God, a creator. After you die, you return to that God, that creator. So you know what your purpose is? He said, you know that there's angels surrounding all of you. And those angels write down everything you do, what you do in public, what you do in secret, what you reveal, what you conceal. The angels are writing everything down. And after you die, you're going to be judged on all these things. I'm saying, whoa. The angels are writing down everything. They're writing down everything. So I'm thinking about the things I do in my life, what my life's like. And I'm thinking about the type of things the angels are writing down. He said, look, this life, this is your book of deeds. That's where it's being written down in. And after, there's going to be like the journey of the bad soul and the good soul. And he's telling us this story. And how the bad soul's taken up and it's rough and it smells, and you're handing the book in the wrong hand, and then the good soul's taken up with a nice smell, handing the book in the right hand, and then on Judgment Day you'll be all raised up. And he told us a story like about the angel Israfil when he blows the horn and everything stops, and on the next blowing we'll be raised up on this day when it's like the whole of mankind will be there. So it's not like a Brit Awards or a Mobile Awards where a few people's there watching and they're like, thank you for this award, it's just a trophy. He said this is the day when the whole of mankind is raised up. And there's going to be winners and there's going to be losers on that day. And depending on if you've done good deeds or bad deeds will be whether your name's called out to get your award. He said, imagine your name getting called out on that day. That's what I want. I want my name to be called out on that day. Come forward and get your award. So I'm trying to focus on my deeds now. And he's making it seem scary. I'm saying I need to be one of the winners on that day. I need to be raised up with the winners. What about the losers? He said the losers on that day, they're going to be raised blind. Because they wanted to turn a blind eye in this life. They didn't want to know. They were the ones that thought they knew best. I don't need a God to tell me, to dictate to me and tell me how to live. I want to live my life the way I want to live it. So they'll be resurrected blind. The ones who thought they was big and that in this life, they'll be raised small. He said that day is going to be crazy. And this was clever dawah. I was scared. I wanted to be one of the winners of that. He said, listen, that day everyone will be there, the sun will be brought down. Elvis Presley, Bob Marley will be crazy, be raised naked. And I'm like, what, naked? Everyone, even the women. He said, it won't even be like that, bro. It won't be like that. You won't be interested. But these are the kind of things we're asking, innit? Because we're in the room, you know, you're intoxicated. You're like, boy, this is deep. This is deep. That's how you see it, it's deep. So then, I'm scared. I'm scared because he's saying, look, the day you die, and know that there's angels coming to you like equivalent to every 20 minutes, that's when your test is over. So you better make sure you do enough good deeds in this life. I pull him aside and I say, listen, I need to read more into this religion. What do you read about? I'm interested in this. I wanted to go back to my state where I lived and say to the young kids I see out there and be like, yo, what's your purpose in life, bro? I did. I wanted to be like that. I wanted to know. I don't want to be just a bummy guy just interested in my Rolex and my Mercedes car going out to the raves. And I didn't want that. It wasn't bringing no contentment in my life. Oh, he's on TV. I didn't care. The novelty wore off. I wanted something more. What is the true purpose of life? You will not be content. The heart will never, ever, ever be content until the one who created the heart is in control and you have a connection with them. So now I went to the bookshop with him and I started reading books. And I realized, you know what, this religion is so simple. Like what everyone was saying in their stories, there's just one God and we worship that God, that's it. There's not no go through this person to that person and thank that person for what, like, it just didn't make sense to me. And I'm not as intelligent as some of the other speakers, but for me, it's just like going to your friend Marcus's house because he cooked you dinner and you're saying, thank you, Eddie, for the dinner. It doesn't make no sense. Marcus made it, thank Marcus for it. It's as simple as that. So if God's the creator of the heavens and the earth, we pray to God. It's simple. I'm not going to pray to no one else. So it was black and white, I want to be a Muslim. Simple as that. This is the true religion. The dawah was good, and the religion seems good. The books, what I'm reading about in the books, the way these people are, the way these women are, who are these people? Uthman, Ali, Abu Bakr, Umar, Aisha, Khadija, they sound like superhumans. The way they live is perfect to me. We need more of this. I'm interested in this religion, but that was in the books. Then I met Muslims, other than the first guy. And that's when I saw the madness. And it was like, and I'll just say this little point before I finish because it's good for us to take something from it, like the brother said. But the way the first Muslim I met gave me dawah, whoa. The next Muslim, sorry, not the first, the second, I could have went straight back out the door I was about to walk in. And may Allah forgive him and have mercy on him, because he was new. He was a new Muslim, and to be fair, I was similar. 6 months into me taking my shahada, you lot didn't even want to meet me. Because I was walking around like I just graduated from Medina University. I'm telling you, I would have walked in there and been like, stuff, I'm not even talking in this room. This isn't right. This is what we do. Because sometimes we get, and even I had an accent all of a sudden. Like, yes, and because at the time, you thought you just had to speak like a sheikh, and don't teach me an Arabic word because I was rinsing them. I remember when I first learned the word nasiha, everyone I spoke to, let me just give you a nasiha, bro. You know, like, it's just like, you change, like you're not human no more. But may Allah forgive me, was new. And the way he wanted to give me dawah was like that. So I've gone to him and I said, yo, bro, you know, I'm thinking of becoming a Muslim, innit? And he's like, what, you, a Muslim? Oh, boy, I don't know, you know, I don't know if you can handle it. I was thinking, would you, like, how can you say that? Like, you're meant to be positive, it's a positive thing, right? And he's like, no, but I'm just thinking, your life, that's haram, bro. Everything you do is like haram. I was like, haram? He's like, yeah. I said, what's haram? I hadn't even heard that one before. He said, that is not allowed, disallowed, like, you can't do it if you're Muslim. I said, like what? Like, obviously I'm not going to sell drugs no more and all that, I'm going to stop. He said, no, I'm talking about even the rapping you're doing and that. Like, I said, what, am I rapping? That's a positive thing. Like, as street boys, we think the music is like a good thing to come out of the roads. He's like, no man, that rapping's haram. I said, how can rapping be haram? Then I was thinking, oh yeah, we're talking about drugs and guns and yeah, I get it. He goes, no, bro, the music in general is haram, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if you can handle it. Are you sure? I said, music's haram, how? Like, music's good, some of it's good, innit? Look at Bob Marley saying like, one love, let's get together and feel alright. How can that be haram? He's like, bro, that's what I'm saying, can you handle it? Are you sure you're ready for this? Like, it's haram, bro. I was thinking, nah, no way music's haram. What if you want to go out to a party or a disco? You're not making no sense. What are you meant to do? Dance to no music? He's like, nah, bro, party, disco, like, the parties are haram, bro. You don't do parties. I said, what, partying and disco is haram as well? How? He said, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if you're ready for this. You sure you want to do this? I'm saying, how can a party? So what if you want to go and celebrate your birthday? Like, this is what we do for enjoyment. Like, every time something good, you celebrate. You go to have a party. What if it's your birthday? It's like, birthday? No, birthdays are haram, bro. That's what I'm saying. You sure you want to do this? Like, it might be too much for you. I said, you're telling me celebrating your birthday is haram. How can celebrating your birthday be haram? Like, what? That's just like, how are you going to even know how old you are if you don't celebrate your birthday? Like, this is madness. So I'm thinking, wait, is he trying to pull my leg, or is this? And he's going, yes. But I was thinking, you know what? I'm trying to come into this with a positive attitude. You're making it seem negative. I said, look, I'm cool anyway. You're not putting me off. I don't even celebrate birthdays, really. I'm good. I'll just book a restaurant, a table, get a couple girls, couple guys, have a meal. I'm good with that. He's like, what, girls? Bro, that's haram, bro. I said, what? He said, what, girls and guys having a meal? That's haram. I said, how can having a meal be haram? He said, because, bro, that's girls and guys sitting together, free mixing. It's haram. That's what I'm saying. Are you sure you want to do this? I don't know if you're ready for this. I said, yo, are you? He put me off. So I was ready to finish this conversation. I swear, I just said, you know what, bro, I'm going up the road, I'm going to McDonald's, do you want anything? He said, wait, McDonald's is haram, bro. So I'm thinking to myself, hold on a second. Eating food is haram. Can you imagine how it seems? I'm 18 years old, I'm just a kid. Like, I'm thinking, everything's haram then. So what am I supposed to do if I become a Muslim? I'm just going to switch off my light, stand in my room and look at the floor. Because everything's haram. This didn't make sense to me. But it's the way he gave dawah. And this is why we have to be careful with the way we give dawah. It's not for everybody. The best dawah is in your actions. And because, you know, if I left it to the Muslims to become a Muslim, I probably still wouldn't be a Muslim now. It's through the books.
I can see it.
So, alhamdulillah, I went to the original person who I was speaking to and I told him, do you know what? I had the disease of the young person, which we probably all suffer from in here, of thinking later on in life. I said I want to become a Muslim later on in life. And because you think you have a later on in life. That's what you think. And then everyone has that problem. Like youngsters, if you speak to them, they say, yeah, later on in life, when I get married, I'm going to do this. Or after university, I'm going to do this. Or when I get a job, I'm going to be like that. We're not promised this type of time. And when we look at the people, our role models, that now, alhamdulillah, I'm a Muslim, we can acknowledge I do have role models to look up to. They didn't do this wait till later on, or after this, or after study, or after I finished my masters. They didn't do these type of things. They got on with deen first and life first, and everything else was secondary. And that's how we need to be. So he told me, look bro, you're not promised a time. And he told me I should take my shahada now. You have to get involved because you never know, you could die tomorrow. And it was the fear of death, and going back to that day of judgment day, being raised in a bad state. Like Allah says in Surah Imran, do not die unless you die in a state of submission. So I was fearing that. So I went and I took my shahada. And the day I went to take my shahada, I remember I walked in this house. And the first thing I remember seeing is everyone was like sitting on the floor, no sofas, all different races. And I was thinking, sofas are probably haram, but I'm not going to say nothing. Like, I'm used to this now. But I remember we ate, and I end my story on this because this is why I first learned love. We all ate together. And as we all sat around eating together, I remember they were asking me questions like, where are you from? And I'm talking and I'm looking, I'm more observing because they brought all the food and it's on one big plate. And I'm looking at this big plate and I'm thinking, I said to the guy next to me, like, can I have my own plate? I need my own plate. He's like, no, we're all going to eat from the same plate, brother. And I'm thinking, wow. And I went to it and they say, what's your name? And I'm looking at the guy who's asking me what's my name. He's putting his fingers in the plate, in the food. I'm thinking, I'm having to share with these guys. And he's putting his fingers in the food. So he's put his finger, but he's doing it quite neat. And I said, my name's Ashley. And he's like, Ashley. I think you need an Arabic name. And he's eating with his fingers. But I'm more watching what they're doing. And then this guy next to me, he's putting his hands in the food as well. So he said, so Ashley, what about your mum? And but he's not putting 3 fingers, he's put his whole hand in. So I said, my mum. And he's like, yeah, does your mum know you're a Muslim? And I'm saying, no, but I'm not really concentrating on the words, I'm looking at the hand, because he's squashing the food. So I'm saying, no, my mum don't really know, but do you know what you're doing? You're squashing the rice in your hand. And he's squashing the food in his hand, and he's going, well, are you going to tell her straight away or after? I said, boy, I'm thinking maybe to leave it a bit long. And he's like, okay, I understand. Then he starts putting all the food that he squashed in his mouth. And I'm thinking, no way is he going to put that same hand back in the food that he's been licking and stuff. And then he goes, it's good, inshallah. And he just put the hand straight back. I said, oh my days. So what, is this not haram? What is this allowed? Is this not unhygienic? But the way I'm looking at it like that is because my heart is a bit black. Because I'm coming from the streets, I'm coming from this bad background, but I have no Islam. And I'm not used to this togetherness and this sharing and this caring and this love. I never even sat around a table with my own family before and ate food. So this really and truly, when I acknowledge what was going on, is a deeper love than I've ever experienced. Sharing a plate with this Somalian, this Asian, this Greek Cypriot. And I took my shahada and I saw the look on their face was amazing after I took my shahada. They were smiling, they gave me hugs, and it's the best decision I ever made. And alhamdulillah, since then, after taking shahada, after being in films, after doing all of that, when you become a Muslim, my thing is I'm happy now. I want to just be a Muslim and go under the radar. So my aim was never to come and stand on stage or be a famous Muslim or a public Muslim. I thought becoming a Muslim was to run away from that and go into. And this is one observation I have, is that it's funny because it seems like the Muslims are running towards everything that someone like myself was running away from. So they're running towards fame, running towards like being like, if you read about the Sahabas and the women, the best, it's like they wanted to Fatima, she didn't want to be seen, she didn't want to be in the public. Now it's like the more followers you've got, the better. Pictures every day, look at me, look at me, look at me. If you look at a guy who graduated from Medina University, he'll have like 400 followers, and then you look at a girl who knows how to do good contouring and makeup, and she's got 1.2 million. Like we're picking the wrong role models. And I see, and the youngsters, it's like they want to talk to me about my past life, and they're running towards a life I'm running away from, and I don't understand. Knowing that you've got parents and you was born with these names and parents that are encouraging you to be a part of this faith, for us it's hard. it's hard. Me, I can't even get married because of my race and being a Revert. Oh no, it's preferably someone who's from Bangladesh because of, you know, the language. But you don't understand how blessed you are, and you're running away from it. Alhamdulillah, the brother in the green, you're gonna drive me to the station, yeah? I've been told. What car are you driving? A Renault. Is it good? You ain't got like a C63 Mercedes. Listen, my train's leaving at 9:02, but I want to do a little bit of poetry. So can we make it?
Takes about 10 minutes.
Alright, let's do it. I'm going to do 5 minutes of poetry, Bismillah. Has anyone heard me do poetry live? No, okay, so I can do the easy story, just straight in. You see, it's cold outside, I need a coat on. My mommy looked in my eyes, she told me, hold on. She said, there's danger down this road that I walk on. And those who walked on it before, now they're all gone. They're either locked in the cage or down in the grave. This is the outcome from the choices we made. Alhamdulillah, I feel I've been saved. Alhamdulillah, I feel I've been saved. Alhamdulillah, I feel I've been saved. Alhamdulillah, that's why I'm here today. You see, it's amazing when I look at where I am today. He said when I was raised amongst, called is the chosen way. I used to go into my church every Sunday. Mum was cooking rice and peas, listening to reggae. I was a typical black boy, typical black household. Walk with my jeans low, face like I own a road. Before there was no hope, I used to make a lot of dough. Asked me about my purpose in this life, I said I don't know. A few books, a few months, a lot of reading, a new season, it brings a new way of thinking. I reason when a Muslim is speaking, I listen, I smile because of the beauty I found in his religion. You see, this is what was missing. Final piece of the puzzle is starting to make sense now. Before was all muddled, I was stuck in the jungle, blind like a bat. Now I see quite clear, it's a laugh, and for that he brought me the facts. Now the boy from the flats is the boy who lay his head down on the mat. It's as simple as that. And now that I found Islam, InshaAllah, I'ma never turn back. See, I was on the outside looking in, ghetto child lingering, thinking should I take it now, thoughts were just wavering. Will it make my daddy proud? What am I gonna say to him? Can I go back to my house, mommy? I'm a Muslim. How's she gonna take it down? How they gonna take it in? Will I end up kicked out? Will I get a kick in? I don't know what to do. I gotta plan my next move. Wanna take shahada soon. Really gotta think it through. You see, what's right for me, I have to do. I live for me and not for you. I don't believe that is true. The things I read in the news. It's my choice. I'ma choose. I ain't got nothing to lose. This is the religion, the truth. Read the books, found the proof. Ismail came to me, sat me down and say to me, what's your purpose in life? It just was like a game to me. I would think occasionally, Ismail was right. I need to fix up my life, tonight could be my last night. So just before the summer, year 2002, mine's already had a wonder, now it's time to make a move. I made my way down to the studio where I link up with my crew, sitting on a single chair, running my fingers through my hair. I said, yo, it's your Phil, it's your older brother here. Thankfully he says, yeah, Ismail was downstairs. He'll be up in a minute, he's having a word with his mother. He comes up, I tell him I want to take my shahada. He looks at me and smiles, I stand up, receive a hug. He said, I see you as a friend and boy, looking like a bruv. Now I can feel the love, no longer feeling lost. He said, take off your cross and take a drive to New Cross. I said, I remember Uncle Yasser and his brothers from all over. They said, it's time to leave the ghetto life, way over your shoulder. So I said, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah, there's no true God except Allah, Muhammad is his messenger. Now I ain't going church no more, I'm going Jummah. Friday straight at Mosque Mumtaz on the khutbah. I wanted to get the front row, I had to get there early. He read the prayer in Arabic, I understood it barely. Really got to learn it quick, got myself a teacher. Then I went to Egypt to learn the language better. Feeling all emotional, I wrote my mum a letter. You need you feeling lonely, wanted to find myself a lover. Tried to get married, I suffered a bit of racism. He said she couldn't be with me because my parents were Jamaican. I said, hey, but I still pray and I fast in Ramadan. He said, no daughter of mine will be marrying this black man. I said, okay, cool, I'ma make the offer for you. And you know what, brother, just make the offer for me too. I'm just happy I'm a Muslim. I came from the streets to Islam, the ghetto. When I see my brother give a palm, embrace with a hug and greet with salam. Salamu alaikum. And my mum always tried her best to make sure her son was focused. My mum always had a smile no matter how slow I progressed. Mum would always say, that's my son, he's the best. And mum never let me forget that this life is just a test. But I was raised in Christianity. I used to go to church. Mum would drop me off to school, then she'd rush off to work. And mum saw her son change when I turned 19, but she still loved me the same when I converted to this deen. She just started asking questions. Son, why are you doing that? I said, Mum, sit with me, watch a DVD of Ahmed Dida. And slowly but surely, Mama recognized the truth and appreciate the changes that I made since my youth. She knew I was flying away, she wanted to spend the day together. This is our moment, we went to the mosque together. It was enough to make me smile, to see my mum with her hair cover. And then she broke the news, she wanted to take her shahada. I said, Allahu Akbar. Now like a soldier, I'ma stand up and pray to my Lord. Like a soldier, I just fast my 30 days for my Lord. Like a soldier, calculate zakat and pay for my Lord. Like a soldier, Hajj and Umrah gets made for my Lord. I have to cut it short, thank you very much.